Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Lich's Archives with Inflict Heroics. Episode 40. So, that's super exciting, right? Anyways, we'll just jump on into this. Last we left off, you guys were preparing to deal with a gnoll infestation. You've had this come for a little bit. You've been dealing with a Lich on and off. He's been sending whiny messages to your cleric, asking him to come over and deliver stuff. Eventually, you guys decided to hit this strange fellow up.
Come over, my mom's not home.
Obviously, a bit more to this than that. Come over, I lost my phylactery. And you decided to dupe him, as well as trying to get the twins back. It's been a long story. You've lost a couple people along the way. But you decided now's the time. So you hired 10 outstanding citizens that Nassim met at a drinking hall. Kisk was busy. Cole was learning about the birds and the bees. Kisk has had to put a pause on his things. He was promised that perhaps there is a inn at the end of this road that Shalashar so graciously brought up. And with everything good to go, you step through a tree with a lovely gnoll who is not creepy or weird in the least. Some would even describe him as an upstanding citizen. And you prepared for battle. Under Nassim's useful ideas, ability to create a sanctum, make a tower, Kisk able to have a cart and an echo, and 10 marines more than willing to dig some trenches, you guys got to work fortifying this place. You also dealt with the mine behind you, gave it a little look, and then realized you didn't really have time for that, as there were some gnolls trying to sabotage some things, but Shalashar, with his detect magic, was able to put a stop to that. Animals before these gnolls were fleeing, and at the end of this day, the gnolls arrived. You guys battled them underneath this raging storm cloud that was over top, that was kind of heralding their arrival as they pressed through this forest. When they arrived, they did so in number, but thanks to the use of fireballs, bear traps, other things that you guys threw into the woods, these weird death charms or whatever they were that were meant to destroy your tower, you guys used those as well. And 2 clerics stacking Divine Guardians, I believe is the spell, right? Spirit Guardians? Spirit Guardians. You guys managed to make very short work of a large number of gnolls. But there were a couple of rogue elements. One was a caster that Nassim ended up playing like counterspell chicken with, just constantly holding their spells, trying to see like, no, you go first, no, you go first. You had a very large gnoll who you almost dealt with, and then he had a ritual cast. He doubled to twice his size. He at some point almost managed to kill Olaf in a single blow, that being the leader of the Marines, but Nassim saw through this and was able to help, as well as heavy uses of silvery barbs to force more rerolls than one would possibly imagine in a fight, and then a lucky banishment spell cast upon a tree ant that was trying to get its way there. You guys dealt with this with 0 casualties. Although outnumbered probably over 10 to 1, you guys find yourself at the end of this fight, everyone standing, maybe a little slanted in some or 2 places. Definitely a bunch of the Marines have leaning against their weapons more than anything else, as you guys are all gathered around this dead gnoll. Can I quickly, well, I realize I forgot to grab my dice. I'm hoping you guys can quickly make a perception check, or what it is that you would like to do with this body, or what it is you would like to do now that you guys have this moment of quiet while I grab my dice bag.
It's finally done. Do you think we should, I think we should see to the wounded.
Kisk will just let out another war cry, raising his hammer, and drop it down exhausted, and go down to one knee.
Should we stab it a couple more times to make sure?
How are you guys doing? Are you okay? And I'll kind of like make my way over towards the mercenaries, and I'll.
They're like all gathered around you. The loudest of them, Borg the Goliath, is currently joining Kisk in his war cry. He's raising his weapon high. Same with Axel, I believe, is also there, and he's actually he's like by you, Core, and he's thanking you for coming to his aid and that. You know, he's like, "That was a close one, little guy. Glad you showed up when you did."
I didn't really do all that much, but I tried.
I did something.
You really should have retreated when you were told to, though.
I had faith in Sissel. Not really my job to run. What did you guys get on those perception checks?
16.
16?
17.
31.
31?
That's a 9.
What are you doing this sim? Keeping in mind that you're not the most perceptive at the moment.
Yep. I am starting to look through my book, and like when everybody starts like war crying, I like wince and like move a little bit of ways, and I go up to the what the fuck is her name, the cleric? Fuck.
Inga.
Inga, yes. I go up to Inga. Now, two things have to happen. One, I need to eat something so I can recast that tower. Two, I think we should be burning these bodies.
Yeah,
You aren't here. I fucked off away from you guys. I'm talking to Inga.
Inga like looks at you and she kind of like holds up her hand and she looks over towards the trees. Everyone that has a perception above 15, you can see what caught her attention. There's another figure coming out of the woods. Quite tall, seems human. Long black hair that is kind of like almost grudge-like in the way that the bangs and everything just kind of comes down in front of her. Her skin is extremely pale. And she has a bit of a croak as she addresses you guys. And she goes, "Good work, heroes. I have a request before the time passes. Return my treant. He won't bother you. I'll take him away."
I'll come up and approach. Sorry, do we know you?
Oh, you know my sister Lillian. I'm Nina.
Do I trust her?
Roll an insight and tell me what you're trying to read.
Just like
The rest of the Marines, they've kind of picked themselves up. They're like gathering their weapons, but like they're not encircling, but they're definitely like forming a distant U around her.
level of hostility mostly.
What did you get
And,
for
like,
your insight?
If I think she's gonna fuck off, or if I think this is a ploy to get our pants down, that would be 21.
21. She doesn't seem hostile. I mean, she has her hands down low. She appears unarmed. She's wearing like almost like a dirty white dress. You know, around the edges it's very dark. And now that you're looking for this, you can also see like the tips of her fingers, as well as her eyes are pitch black. There's nothing. It almost looks like she just has an iris for a pupil for an eye. Please, I know your spell. You can only keep him so long. You could end it and bring him back before he's gone. I'll get that thing off of your head. Tick tock.
I don't know if it's worth. I can find other ways to get rid of this. But the Ent was trying to attack us with the other wave of gnolls.
And you won. Congratulations.
I'm gonna
You
cast
did a good job.
I'm gonna cast a message to Salashar because I'm way up back at this point. And I'm gonna whisper, it might be prudent to make an ally here. She seems willing to leave. I can't do another fight.
I'll just reply. We don't know her. We have no information on her.
It's not nice to sit here and mouth words when you're talking to others.
Besides, you want me to release an ant that was trying to kill us with the promise you'll get this off my head?
You'll be under my control. He was in the first place.
So he was sent to attack us on your command.
Yes. But that's over
But
now.
why?
We can move beyond this.
But
Give
why?
me back my thing. You don't know how hard it is to get one of those. And the spell. I'll help you. And then we can go our
Well,
separate ways.
Why would I? Yeah, you can get this off my head, but we know nothing about you. We have no idea what you're trying to do, why you're trying to attack us. You come in here strolling after we almost get killed.
I get
It's
it.
like, oh yeah, give me my toy back.
That's fine. I'll see you later. And she's just gonna
I'm
like
gonna
turn
try-
and start heading back towards
I'm
the
gonna
trees.
try and message one more time. Salashar, as far as I'm aware, you have already pissed off one powerful magic user. We might want to consider the fact that this is risking pissing off another. She's offering to help. And we're not in the best shape.
It's another magic caster.
At this point, she's like making it to the edge of the trees.
Hey, Sal? Maybe you should let it go if she can get rid of that thing, because we still have to go after the druid, and it would be nice if we could do that without him knowing exactly where you are.
I agree. I think getting
Wait.
that back is worth it.
I understand why you don't want to.
Come
I
here,
kind of don't
please.
want to either.
Make a persuasion with disadvantage.
Oof. That's a 7 minus 1.
She seems like she's gone. She like you call and you see she just like continues to walk through the trees and just almost as she's like walking, it's almost like each stride takes her farther away as she's like leaving the plane.
Or we can just do this the hard way, I guess.
I'll snap my fingers and drop the spell.
If she's not here, make an arcane
she-
check before you do that.
Like, I was seeing if I could call her bluff. Like, if I just drop it and she's still in the area. But if she's already like a mile away, then it's like.
Well,
no,
like I
not
said,
much.
you see she's like physically leaving the plane, as I said. So you can still drop it.
Oh, I thought you meant like just like leaving the
Oh.
clearing, not just.
Yeah, the
Ma-
plane
make
of
it-
existence.
Make an arcane check.
Yeah, I also
I
thought
missed.
to
I
fail,
missed the plane. That is 19.
19. You can see, like, it's not that she's moving farther or leaving the plane, but, like, she's going ethereal. She's
Okay, yeah, so
entering
she's
into someplace else.
Okay. Well, we're just meeting a bunch of happy customers, aren't we? Fucking audacity.
At this point, Olaf speaks up and he just kind of plays though. So, we spending another night here, or what's the plan? I'll also need the payment for the start of the day.
Oh, we'll probably be spending another night here.
Alright, well,
Best not to travel through the woods bleeding.
We'll pay up. You tell me where you want us, and we'll get to work for the night. You know, you pay for the day, and we'll go where you want.
When you drop you back, would you like us to take you back to Milscar?
I mean, if we're going back there, I'd rather that than being in the woods.
It just depends on where you prefer, but I definitely understand the feeling of being home.
For context of this, just having this conversation, there's now this terrible ripping sound coming from the giant knoll as Grasscrix is just digging through it. Unabashedly, he just starts going to town. Olaf kind of looks at it, puts his back to it, and like tries to face you more, you know, one-on-one with that to his back, so he doesn't need to see it.
Hey, Grass. Would you mind taking us home to Milscar tomorrow? Kind of recover our self-energy, then take us back?
Pulls his hand like, yeah, I can do that. I have the power still. We could do it now if you want it as well. But I'm in no rush. There's lots to eat.
What do
You
you
won't
think?
sleep well tonight. It's not wise to anger the night hags. I'd say
You-
sweet dreams, but
Can you... I'm not certain how much you know, but do you know anything about her? What she is?
I know some things. But to talk about them invites, you'll have to ask better questions.
Is she malicious, do you think?
Hag.
Is yes, Nissim?
I was just gonna say, while he's talking to Grazquix, I'm gonna go to the mercenaries and tell them plan is burn these bodies because we don't want something with necromancy using them against us.
Okay. You'll pretty much be told the same thing. Like, you know, we'll follow the orders as soon as we're paid. Talk to Olaf. It's a good fight, though. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna
Sure.
pass them along to Kisk, who's a treasurer.
Me? I have like 50 gold. I gave you 100 to do your book.
Well then,
What's
Fuck.
another two?
wait, didn't we pay them before the battle started?
You pay them at the start of the day.
Yeah, because last session,
Yeah,
Nissim
they should be
already did
paid for
them.
this day.
I don't think so. I think like you guys
Yeah.
have had them for 3 days and they've been paid twice.
Because we paid them the morning before the battle because they were doing stuff last minute in the trenches.
Well, I'll take your
Yeah.
word for it. We'll check notes and we'll get back to this when we can. But in that case, they will start, you know, gathering up the bodies and stuff. Back to Grasscrix very quickly. You asked if she was malicious. I mean, depends. I wouldn't say malicious. I would say she does what's in her nature.
Is her nature.
I don't know that well. I tend to not deal with hags.
Being from Yun, I wouldn't really deal with hags much, would I? I feel like they're more like swamp dwelling kind of.
Roll. We'll say a history.
I'm kind of curious. That is a 8.
8. From your part, you haven't seen them much, but you would be a familiar, like, just due to the way, like, Lichport functions as, like, the biggest training hub, as well as the fact that Yun does have a prerogative to, like, dig into the Underdark. There aren't really any hard rules against dealing with people from the Underdark, from the Deep Loom, or from other planes of existence, if they show up. So although you haven't dealt with a hag,
I know of them.
yes, and you'd also be aware, like, some of them have sway. They're all different, This is actually the second hag you've met. The other one being Lillian, the Strange.
Yeah, in that little house in the woods, right?
Yeah.
So, do you guys want to stay the night here? And Grazkrix could take us home. Probably safer in Milscar.
And you can see, like, Olaf, and Olaf is, like, yelling orders. Sissel's starting to, like, play her drums a little bit to get, like, a song of rest going, and the rest of them have been, like, they've, like, lined up their weapons, like, point down in the door to put, like, their shields against the swords, and they're starting to clear and, like, mass the bodies as best they can. With your perception, you'll see, like, there are two of them that are, like, not really helping as much as, like, they get to a body and they start, like, pulling out teeth and stuff, and once that's done, then other ones come, pick up the body, take it over.
I have the spell slots to give one person an unenlarged, so I'll do that.
Okay.
Ness, how long is the tower gonna last? Does that go out tonight? Or is that gonna last until the morning? I don't remember when you cast it.
Evening, but let me eat something. I'll get it going again. I won't be able to get the circle as well as the tower though.
Well, if nothing else, we're gonna be here for like a couple hours taking care of the bodies.
Yes, I can force out one of them.
I'm gonna pick up the flail that the large gnoll had and walk over to the butcher and hand that over to him. Like, look, that kill really should have been yours, so...
You did great out there. What are you talking about?
No, I did not do great.
You fought valiantly.
I did okay at best, so...
You scored the killing
This
blow.
is your spoil of war.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'll swing the flail around a little bit.
Okay.
Hey,
So,
Ness,
Annie,
I'm gonna go check
It's-
out that wizard for you.
It's a little weird when you swing it as, like, it moves like an actual weapon, but you can feel like there's something more to it. Just like the weight of, like, as someone that's dealt with a lot of weapons and stuff, like, there's something else to this thing.
Okay.
And you want to check out the wizard's body.
Yep.
Alright. Grazkrix is actually, he's, like, kind of watching you guys, and as you, like, he's having this conversation with Shalasha, and as you move that way, he just, like, turns away from Shalasha and, like, follows up after you.
Oh, I'm also gonna whisper to Graz. Save some of that word for me.
Oh, I will. There's more than enough. Do you like it? And he points towards the banner that is, on top of this gnoll's body. It's... Of everything else that happened to this thing, the banner's, like, perfectly fine.
What does the banner even look like?
It actually, now that you're looking at it, it pretty much looks like it's a stick with a belt on it, and then it kind of comes up, goes into an L, and there's like a triangular flag with the holy symbol of Arima and a bunch of abyssal runes on it.
Yeah, I don't really have I can't really say if I like it or not. I'm not really a holy person.
Well, you should know it's not from here. It's not wise to leave it out. They'll want it back.
Well, then it will probably get burned.
You can't burn it. It can only be destroyed in the Savage Lands. I could take it if you want.
Yeah, I'm not gonna...
Or
that's-
you could take it visit Arima, see what the gnolls do, where they're from. It could be fun.
Sure, I don't think we should,
Yeah, no, I've already almost, like, been pulled into a different plane of existence once already. That was scary enough, and that wasn't even threatening.
The best move would have been to give this to Nina to get it out of here. We can't leave it.
do you think...
I don't want to mess with them.
What if we were to contact her sister?
I don't reach out to hags. They find you when they want you.
Because if she said she can remove this mark from me, that means her sister most likely can.
No. Nina serves Arima. Lillian serves someone else.
Okay, so it has to do with who they serve. A servant of Arima can remove it.
Depends on the coven. But to simplify it, yes.
Does it have to be a hag?
Doesn't need to be. Some are more powerful than others. You've heard of Yastrid. She rules the Fae Court of Fall. Others rule other planes. Some try to rule other planes. Nina's special. She makes deals with goddess. Lillian not so much. She tries though as other hags. They weave their webs.
Because I would like this off my head, but the druid can already scry on me. But I don't trust her because she wants her end back that she
Especially
directed
not
to
now.
attackers.
It's too late. You don't have much she wants. The price got far steeper.
I mean, we don't even know her. She directed her end to attack us and then wanted it back. That
You don't want to know her. I would caution against any hags. They're hard to catch, harder to kill.
short of going to her to get this off my head, do you know of any way to get rid of this?
Deal with the one that put it on you? And the Lich? Then it won't be there.
Unless we don't even know how to even go about facing the Lich. We didn't see them. Why is that going through the halls? And our one source of information, Zap, I'm fairly certain does not want to hear from me. He has more to do with the Fate Courts. Regardless, I think if you don't mind taking the banner.
I don't really want to deal with it either. But I will, if I have to.
I mean, just for the sake of it, it'll be quite a ways back. We'll just be wreaking havoc all over your forest. You can at least travel between places quickly. Dump it somewhere else.
It's not a matter of dumping. I have to take it home.
Well, you could theoretically make it someone else's problem.
You don't pass things like this on to others. Where's the balance in that? Debts must be paid. You can't just juggle forever.
Out of curiosity, do you feel the balance has been restored to some extent?
You made a couple of silver? There is much to be done. The post will fill again soon. They aren't going to stop. They're called here. They come from others. Their wounds will fill. Maybe a month, maybe a week. It depends how strong they call. Lots to eat. And he's gonna like look back over towards the body. He kind of like locks eyes with Borg, who's like trying to drag the big thing, and he like lets go of the limb and just, I'll find something else to lift.
While I'm listening to him, can I cast Detect Magic and kind of like scan through the bodies of the gnolls, look at the big gnoll, mage, just kind of take a look through everything?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. The banner, the flail that Kisk is holding also has a strong aura. All of the shields that your mercenaries were holding are also magical. And then besides that, like the large gnoll, his body as a whole is under some sort of magic still.
The gnoll is? Okay, so he's like
Embanged.
Yeah, there's something residual. Even now, like it wasn't a concentration spell, it was like a permanent enchantment. Even in death, it still continues.
Okay.
But besides that, not a lot of magical things, you know, among the lots of gnolls. And so far, it's been a decent job. You know, there's probably about 20 gnolls, and they're working to get them off of the pikes as well at this point.
I'll start helping them deal with the bodies. Can pass the time.
Alright. What's everyone else up to in this moment?
I'm helping build a funeral pyre.
Fantastic. You'll need a couple of those. It's definitely appreciated work. Cool, Nassim.
I've been looting the wizard for Nissim.
Alright, looting him, you know, he also has a staff, he has, all in all, if you guys do want to loot, I can tell you, like, everything that you guys can kind of gather and figure out how you want to spread that around. So there are a couple of things here. Very quickly, Nassim, what are you up to?
I have pulled my little, like, portable, writing desk out of my bag of holding and set it down. And I'm starting to, like, go through some stuff, but at the same time, like, so exhausted that I'm, like, half falling asleep on my notes. Just waiting to be told they need me to light something on fire.
Okay.
Or to work through stuff long enough to get arcane recovery back.
Alright, fair enough. We can definitely let you do that. Get your arcane recovery. So then over the course of the hour then, with the three heavy boys, the three well-armored fellows, helping to move these bodies, build some funeral pyres, by the end, you guys would have been able to gather, if you want them, it seems to be a different currency. You're assuming it's a currency, as it's like these almost like bone discs. You know, very small, you know, about the size of like a gold coin, but rather thin. You know, it almost looks like they took like some sort of vertebrae and they've been like cracking them in half or into thirds and then finding a way to like dip them in something. They're very smooth. It almost feels like, in today, it would feel like almost like acrylic or something like that. So they're very strange feeling. Besides that, there's a lot of miscellaneous weapons. You know, nothing in like terribly good shape. There's a couple of, you know, sharper cleavers here or there. There's a couple of like mauls. But you guys would have about like 120 various weapons. You guys would be able to find about 10,000 of these bone coins, as well as between leather, studded leather, and a couple of pieces of mail here and there, like another like 100 or so pieces of armor in various estates. Like if you guys were to like say, okay, well let's assume we could sell this, you guys are probably standing close to like an extra 10,000 gold. If you guys were able to get this out and find someone to sell it. To carry
Absolutely.
it? We're looking at,
Way too much to carry.
yes, like there's a lot of stuff that would have to be moved here. You know.
I will take whatever I can and fit in my bag of holding.
Do you want to start with the weapons or the armor?
Probably the weapons will probably have a better flat value instead of like piecemeal.
Alright. Just very quickly looking at a chart for weights just to be sure. Because I want to find an average here, right? Yeah, everything's about 2 to 3 pounds. You know, and it's about a couple of gold per, depending on who you sell this to. And if people even want to buy these, so. How much room does your bag of holding have?
It is completely empty.
So I'm sure you got the stats for it. What's the weight restrictions here? Because you're gonna fill this thing up.
Yeah,
you
I mean,
want,
it's
right?
a 500-pound limit, so
500 pounds?
Fill the fucking thing to a peak.
Okay, because there's like over like 3,000 pounds of equipment here that you guys are like, pulling off the knolls and stuff. It's also going to take a little bit because, you got to get the armor off and stuff. So this will take, a couple of hours to harvest.
Assuming weapons are an average of 3 pounds each, that's 166.6 weapons.
So, if that's how you want to spend it, you can, and then the sim eventually you will get your arcane recovery off.
Awesome.
And then it's just up to you guys as to what else you'd like to do. The most is like as soon as they're done the work, they start stripping the bodies with you guys. They start breaking them down into various piles. You're probably going to end up with like 5 pyres. The big knoll itself, though, he rapidly disappears as Grass Cricks kind of drags him off to the side, and his hyenas, and then he soon puts his totem down. His wolves get to work on this thing. And you can see, like, as you guys are doing this, eventually he just has the skull and he's just cleaning it. It's this massive skull. Even, like, for him, he's like 9 feet tall. This thing is still massive to him. But he seems quite content just picking through the flesh. And eventually, he does make eyes with Yuko as well, and he gestures, and you can see he's also left a pile of meat off to the side for you.
Yep, I'll be there in a minute. Whatever I've gathered from the wizard, I'll dump by Nassim while he's napping. And while he's asleep, I'll also take off my cloak and add that to the pile.
Add your cloak to the pile? Which pile?
Oh, the pile of whatever I took off of the wizard.
Got it.
And what is in this pile?
Off of that guy specifically, there's the banner if you want it. There's some shredded ropes, couple of pieces of leather, not enough to give armor. Looks as though he had 2 daggers, one which seems to be carved out of the bottom of something's jaw, another one which seems to actually be made of metal, which is, looking at everything else here, everything else seems to be wrought iron, and a bunch of the pieces are poxmarked and stuff, as well as there's quite a bit of rust here and there along it. Everything kind of stinks, but this dagger is actually relatively clean. but it's not magical in any way. It's just something that actually seemed to be well taken care of. And it also looked like he had some sort of staff, but it was broken when what happened to him happened, which I believe was a fireball. So,
The mage?
yes,
No, I killed him with my sword.
there you go. That's what it was. But nonetheless, the staff is still, damaged. It wasn't magical either. For all of these guys, they seemed well outfitted, but not well equipped with magic items. Except for that flail, which, Kisk, if you'd like to attune to it, you let me know.
Yeah, for sure. After I'm done building the pyres, I'll sit with it for a little bit.
Alright, fantastic.
Speaking of attuning, I have an off-topic question.
Go
How
for it.
fast does it, or how long does it take to de-attune to an item? Is it instant, or do you need to, like, spend the usual hour?
I think it was like... would say it depends on circumstances. I think it probably takes an hour, or like, maybe even like half an hour, depending on the item,
Okay.
Obviously, like, some weapons might fight back. Like, with the
Periods.
sentient thing, might be like, nah, not today, you're mine.
Mm-hmm.
Same with some coast items, but I don't think it's instantaneous, right?
Okay.
And that way you can't just get, like, stolen, and then you're like, oh, where did my weapon go? So, I'll double check the rules on that, and I'll get back to you. But for now, we'll say it'll take about half an hour. Make it a sense?
Yep.
Fantastic. Kisk, you're able to speak languages?
Yes.
Fantastic. I will get you the stats for this thing, but what you will understand is that this weapon does have a couple of things it can do. It has 3 heads on it. Each head can do something different, but you also are aware, like, it's not sentient, but you can, like, hear the magic, right? It's almost like there are these power words that you need to interact with to engage with these flails when you hit. But you're aware, like, the magic comes from someplace dark. Can you make an arcane or religion check?
Sure. Let's see. Religion. Okay, they're both -1, so I guess I'll go Arcana. Hey, a natural 20, but it's a 19 because I have a -1.
Still not, though.
Okay. You would understand, like, to use this weapon, depending on what you do, like, it's literally, like, the words for madness, the words for pain and suffering, and the words for, like, domination or paralysis. If you were to use these, you will lose part of your humanity. As you
Got
use
it.
You could. You have the words, but you're kind of going to be drawing on something, and something could be watching from another side, and there could be repercussions. With that being said, though, there's things like, a DC 16 Wisdom save to, like, make things go crazy. This thing does 1d10 damage. It has a pain thing which can do an extra 4d10 psychic damage when you make an attack with it.
Wow.
As well as the
Dang.
ability of, like, a 16 Constitution saving throw to give something paralysis. It's a
Good
strong
to know.
weapon. It is
Yeah.
a strong
Nice.
weapon.
A neat little flail. All right.
How human do you want to be?
Yeah.
Oh, please, he was never human to begin with.
Half working proud.
So, if you do want to use it, let me know, and I will send you the stats for this weapon.
Yeah, just send me the stats whenever you get a chance.
You got it. But besides that, everything does go well, and eventually in the sim, once you have your spells back, you can light up these bodies. You guys can do whatever you want.
I'm gonna start cooking a nice meal for everybody and getting the beer flowing.
I'm cooking me some heart.
Ooh, heart, very nice. That's a
Tough
tough.
heart. Never tried it.
Oh, that's a
So-
tough meat.
Actually, Butcher, if you don't mind giving me some tips on how to cook it so it's, like, not quite so tough, or make it
Of
edible.
course. Here, I got you. And I'll pull you over and I'll show you I have like a spice rack under my armor, and I'm like throwing spices
Under
on
your
there.
kilt.
Throwing spices on there and instructing just how far away from the fire you want it to sit and for how long, and don't forget to rotate it, okay?
It's the tinnitus. Damn it.
Once the pyres are made up, I'll use produce flame cantrip to just produce some flames. Burn it down.
Fair.
And then I'm going to stumble my way over to the tower, recast it, running out of all of my spell slots, and I'm gonna roll a 3 to not get lost.
So you're taking a nap.
Oh no, there's a nap, and then there's what I do.
Good fucking comatose.
I like finish it, and as I'm finishing it, like I just stop.
Mentally into the void.
Yeah.
Just kind of take a look back and Nassim, all right.
Looks like he's zoned out.
I trust him. He's a wizard.
He's had a long day. We all have.
I'm not about to tell a wizard to. I know what they're doing. I know better than them, so. So what's the plan for tonight? Celebrating? Is there anything else you guys need help with?
Minor celebration, resting up, then going after the druid in the morning? That's what I kind of assumed that we'd be doing.
I mean, I would like to. Maybe when Grasskirks comes back, I'll ask. Is Grasskirk still around?
Yeah, he's
Or is
really
that-
on the side, and you can see he just has the big skull in front of him, and he's just slowly chiseling like the flesh away from the bone. And you can see, like, now that he's gotten that through, he's using like the big bracers where he has these claws, and he's like carving runes into this big skull.
I'll regret this. I'm gonna go over and kneel down beside him, or like in front of him, just kind of like in his muted area. Do you mind if I ask you a couple more questions about the druid?
I can't stop you, can I?
I mean, you don't have to answer. That is your choice.
I'm glad you cleared that up for me. I was unsure.
Considering you know the most about the druid, the gnolls, if we wanted to deal with the druid, do you know how we'd find him? Her?
You
Uh,
already
I mean-
met him? He's in the keep that I can't enter.
Well, we didn't really meet him. We went down there. We followed through the tunnels to the somewhere far beneath the keep.
That's
and
all I know then. I know more about the gnolls than him. I know he's there still. I can feel his presence.
but you have no information or idea otherwise.
He's protected from me ever since I left the Savage Lands. For Amira, Arima hasn't welcomed me.
Well, Arima is the evil one, right?
Depends who you ask. But yes, she's the goddess of nature.
Is there a god that directly opposes her that we could pray to?
You could. Follower of the Grey. Amira, my goddess of the hunt. Sisters. Twin goddesses, you see. They don't get along much now.
Do you know the symbol?
He literally like just kind of like digs out his armor and he starts pulling out like these bone charms. Some of them look like bows. He also pulls out like a sprig of berries from underneath the shoulder pad. They're like a little crushed, you know, it's also like caked in his full. And he just starts pulling out a lot and he goes, I have more from the fallen. And he grabs a bag and he just starts emptying it. And just holy symbol after holy symbol. Some of your gods, some of other gods. And he starts sorting through them. And as he does this, he looks at he's like, if you died, I would have kept yours safe too. And he pushes a bow towards you. He pushes a symbol of like berries. A bunch of these are made out of wood. Some are like also like carved stone. Seems to be the most often used materials.
Pretty common for something coming from the Savage Lands.
No, these are my god. These are the hunters. He starts pushing out other ones as well. Ones that are like leaves and flowers, and he goes, these are Mira. Sorry, these are Rima, goddess of nature. You find her symbols everywhere, and he just gestures towards the trees.
And you think sorry, Arima's the one that I could talk to that opposes
Amira is the
Amira and
goddess of
Arima.
hunt, my goddess. Arima is goddess of nature, their god.
I'm going to mark down the symbol for Arima.
You can also only make a religion check since you are a cleric, even though you're not trained in religion.
Oh, yeah.
You apostate.
Apostate. That's a 15.
You'd be aware that the goddess of nature was the second god ever created. Well, not created, but second oldest, you would say. You know, in seniority, you have Juxta, which is yours, who broke apart his domain for the other gods. And then you have her. She's one of the oldest by far, and one of the strongest, as well as you'd be aware, like, you know, church services depends on where you go, but for the most part, she's considered basically everywhere. Same with symbols. It could be anything. Some people could grab a stick and go, this is now my holy symbol. Right?
Yeah, it doesn't need to be
That's why, like, what he pulls out for you, like, a bunch of them, you know, they look like cauliflowers, but also, like, there's also, like, flowers that he's giving you, and, like, some rocks. Like, there's, like, just one painted with, like, an A on it, and he's like, holy symbol.
I hate that. Thanks for your help.
You look hungry? You're nothing but bones? You should eat more. He's gonna just reach over, and he's just gonna, like, pass, like, he's holding, like, half a liver to you. Take.
I'll just kind of lean in. Do you know about my nature?
I can smell it.
Death?
Bones. Magic. You're not one with the balance. In other places, I would have hunted you.
That's nice to hear.
Maybe
Thanks.
another time?
Hopefully we don't. I'll just kind of straighten myself up and just walk away.
Just eats the liver himself.
I'm gonna go off to the side, and I am going to take a knee. What languages do I know? I think that's fitting. Is there any clay around?
Probably.
Like, if I were to dig through the mud, could I find any clay by chance?
I'll give it to you. I'll see if you can find some clay. It was just raining, at the very least, there's quite a bit of mud. The ground is far softer than it should be, and as you guys are, walking out, it's definitely damp still.
I would like to find a fair bit, enough to make, a small circle. And I would like to carve in the Elvish word for life.
Okay.
You need one.
Dogs.
I would like to draw in the Elvish symbol for life, and then I'll cook it over the fire just to kind of harden it.
Alright, it'll take you a little bit, but you can get that done. Very quickly, while you're doing this, what is everyone else doing? At this point, the fires have gone up. You guys have sorted through things. You guys have put a bunch of weapons away. You guys could have gotten a long rest in this time if you wanted. And the Marines have kind of broken apart at this point, and they're servicing their gear as well as just breaking out some of their rations and stuff, as well as pulling out their little traveling stools that they have.
I'm cooking a big meal for everybody. Noel, probably. Cooking up some Noel. Passing out beers.
While you're cooking the Noel, where are they? Two of them. Yvonne is going to approach you, same with Axel, and they're gonna give you some other things to cook. And I'm like, this too, please.
Absolutely, no problem. I'll toss it on the fire.
Yeah, you'll see one of it's a big chunk of insect, and another, and then Yvonne, what she gave you was a pack of spices and herbs.
Ooh, where'd you find these?
I've had them for a while, back from Sigwolf.
I'll put them to good use.
If you like them, I can give you some more.
But yeah, get back to me on that.
Well, try it first. See if you like it. It's, if you were to sample it, one is almost looks like a cinnamon stick, but it's very, very bitter. It's actually called bitter bark. And then another thing that she gives you, it's very peppery. We'll say that. And it just seems like it looks very similar to thyme.
Okay.
You mean time?
Yeah, there
Thyme.
you go. Don't make fun of my speaking words. But yeah, you can definitely get busy cooking. Everyone would appreciate that as well. Cole and Nissim, what are you guys doing? As you see, Shalashar has gathered this mud. He's carved this thing, and he's trying to cast it over the fire.
I'm just...
Sleeping?
No, I'm not sleeping yet. It isn't late enough yet. But I've managed to find myself sitting down, and I'm just half there.
Oh, so you're just zoned out?
And you're not sure if it's magical exhaustion or physical or something else. But I'm a few sandwiches short of a picnic.
Just so you know, Sissel, the bard has no resistance. She's definitely spend a bit more time closer to you, you know. And she is like playing a song of rest to kind of like heal everyone, and she's trying to affect you with that as much as she can. You know, she's trying to be helpful.
Do I recognize any of the songs she plays?
Probably. I mean, you are from Sigwolf. You have worked with the Flame. Oddly enough, they're more like twists, you know, because you've been inland. A bunch of these, like, it's a very similar tune, very similar words, but a bunch of them have been changed more to, like, deal with, like, being on a ship and stuff like that. But it is, like, you know, there's a bit of comfort in it. It's like, you know, like, 70% of the song. Sometimes even closer to 90. But every once in a while, there's just a little twist.
When there's one of them that's like 90% familiar, I'll like half sing along a little bit under my breath and just, it definitely, like, I've got a slight smile.
Yeah. Hopefully that helps. If you guys are missing health with a Song of Rest, you are able to, you know, heal with an extra hit die. Just, you know, in case that matters at all. Cole, what about you?
It's been a long day. Got some beer in me. Think I'm gonna listen to the music and lay down near a fire.
Disassociate.
Go ahead.
Alright, fair enough.
Go lay down near one of the fires so I'm nice and warm and just like take a
Just
nap.
don't mind
before
the
we
smell
go to bed.
of burning full. And this one, like, it is, like, you guys had this fight close to the beginning of the day. It's now been a couple of hours. We're getting close to, like, you know, 1 p.m. sort of thing. Where you guys have, like, these big pyres and they're starting to put thick smoke up into the air.
Oh, I thought it was like evening. Okay.
Nah, these guys showed
No,
up.
it's been pretty
Yeah.
early.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap then and think of Hertha as I drift off.
Hotha?
Hertha.
High or low?
Oh, low.
Good to know. Alright, we're gonna quickly jump back to you then, Shalashar. What else would you like to do once you have this thing cast? You know, everyone's kind of taking their naps, everyone's, you know, relaxing.
I'm gonna go off to the side, maybe to that little gully where I initially found that bag. The bag that had the
Yep,
lung flow poison.
that you threw up.
Yeah. I want to go over there. I want to get down on my knees, and I would like to. I don't know if it is like. Is it? It's not a sin to pray to the more than one god. I would like to kneel down and kind of reach out my senses to Arima. Arima, right?
You tell me. Arima is the goddess of nature.
Arima.
You
Yeah.
want to reach out to the evil goddess.
No. Amira. If I want to reach out to the goddess of nature.
So, the goddess of nature is the goddess of the Knolls.
I thought she was the hunt.
No, Amira is goddess of the hunt. And you'll see, like, if you reverse their names, it's the same name, one spelled forward, and if you flip it, it's the other god's name. That's why they're so similar.
Yeah, because I know that's why it got me confused.
So, Amira is goddess of the hunt, neutral good. Arima is goddess of nature, neutral evil. If you want their domains, I can tell you that as well, but you do know, since it's come up in chat, the Savage Lands is where nature resides.
Yeah, like unadulterated nature, just.
So which one do you want to pray to?
Can I roll?
You can tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you what to roll.
I want to kind of scour my mind for any any gods who I think could aid me in giving us direction towards the dealing with the Lich. This mark on my head.
Religion check it is.
Okay, not bad. +1 is a 16.
16. You'd be aware of a story that these two goddesses used to fight all the time. Amir is seen as Arima's little sister, and she would constantly kill her older sister's creations and instruct her followers to do so, thus the hunt. Another god, Niskar, god of the harvest, he's lawful neutral. He taught people how to grow stuff instead, and he was kind of like a middling force to stop the fight between the two twins. So he could be one. Perhaps he's dealt with them directly, and he's done his best to kind of spread things out. Besides that, there's Tempia, the goddess of war and arguments. She's lawful evil, but she, deals with such things. Juxta as well, he is the eldest god, and everyone kind of comes from him. Or you could even try Rustfell, god of metal and protection. Or, maybe Babda, god of healing and birth. They're supposed to be a good god. Or lastly, there's Alms, god of knowledge and rituals, if you're hoping to find answers. You would be aware that Alms is probably the hardest to reach because his entire religion is rituals and knowledge, so everything you do with him pretty much has to be perfect. And if you mess up the ritual, good luck.
Yeah, he's like, I don't give a fuck about you.
And it's like, perfection or nothing.
I'm going to cast a spell, but it's pretty specific, so just give me a little bit to kind of think on it.
Okay, so you get down there, you prepare this space, you lower yourself, and you stop to have yourself a little think. Everyone else, you guys just good to kind of hang out and wind down for the rest, or anything you guys would like to get up to? At this point, the Marines are getting a little rowdier, they're starting to pass out a little bit of drinks. Some of them have offered to help you kisk. Well, probably tell that a big part is because they're getting a little hungry and a little anxious.
I'll bring out the food as soon as it's ready on these big trays. Start passing it out to everybody, and I'll kind of look at Nassim, and I'll sit down next to him and just put like a meaty paw on the shoulder. You okay?
Little too much magic.
A little drained? I don't pretend to understand the magic. Hope you're still up for a reading session tonight. I look forward to it.
Of course. I'll just need a bit of a rest.
Here, eat something,
Goodbye, then.
please. Have something, anything to eat. We got Noel, we got some steaks, we got a piece of a bug. Perhaps you want a beer? Did anyone get you an ale? Can someone get Nassim an ale? Please, quickly.
Yeah, Leaf will show up with it, and he'll pass you like a drinking horn.
Thank you. And I'll just shove it into your chest, Nassim. Drink, I insist.
Well,
It'll help.
if you've insisted.
I do, when they give you a big toothy grin with my little rings on my tusks. You did well.
Me? All of you were doing the best.
We all did well. I'm somewhat surprised, honestly. I thought for sure one of us was gonna die, or we all were, but it all worked. It came together.
Right? Everyone's alive.
Well, almost everyone. I'll glance over to the Marines, knowing that they lost. Didn't they lose a few?
Nope. You guys managed to keep them all up.
Yeah, we didn't lose a single person then. If that doesn't show we mean business, then I don't know what does.
You got food to cook?
Yup. Don't want it to burn.
Thanks for lying. Fine.
I'll give you a nod and head back to cooking. And pouring some more ale for myself, maybe getting slightly inebriated.
I do accept any bug meat, though. But I avoid Noel.
Yeah, you see, there's a couple of the other Marines that have a similar sentiment. A couple of them are a bit pickier. But you are definitely in good company. You know, everyone's getting a little bit more sloshed. Olaf definitely seems to be like, you know, he's kind of watching everything as it goes by, you know, looking things over. He's also set up like a little table himself, very close to Nassim, similar to like Nassim's table who pulled his out. Similar design even, you know, you can tell it came from the same place. And he's like counting out coins and stuff like that. Are you ready, Shalashar? Do you need a bit more time?
The format in which I have to ask the questions are kind of specific, so I just need a little bit more time.
Fair enough. I would assume at this point you guys could probably settle down for your long rest if you guys want to start your level ups or stuff like that. Or tell me if there's anything else you would like to do. Actually, very quickly, I need a d20 roll for the day.
I'll roll it.
There you go. Kiss, go ahead.
$17.
17. Fantastic. Very quickly, jump back to you, Cole, since you thought about Hortha and you reached out. You can tell, like, you're technically still attuned to Hortha, unless you decide to drop it, but there is a connection, and if you wanted, you could reach out to them and actually have a conversation.
That out of character, yeah, that was kind of my intent.
I figured.
If it worked.
So if you would like, you definitely can.
I'm gonna try to.
Alright. What would you like to say as you reach out for us? And you're definitely like, as you reach out, you can feel yourself getting sleepier. It's almost like you have to be in either a dream or almost a fugue state, and you can feel like your consciousness waning as you're like stretching yourself beyond to reach out to Hortha.
Once I make contact, just to make like a long story short, I'll give her the rundown. Her, him, it, whatever it is. The rundown of everything that's happened since they left us, and be like, you know, Eartha, you should have just stuck with me. I found this like nifty little rod that can like take me right to the Fey realm, but I'm not sure if I should use it or not, because that's like, it was like a summer place, and I remember you said you needed to go to the the fall or something like that, and yeah, a couple people died, and I died, and I was brought back, and just wasn't strong enough to save people, and it's been a rough couple weeks.
Hortha definitely takes us all in. They seem rather excited about some of the things you mentioned. They get a feel of discomfort when you mention the summer court. But they also do inform you that they're glad for you. It sounds like you've done much. I've done much as well. I don't need to go back to the fall court.
Oh, that's good.
I can show you what I've been doing, where I'm going.
Where are you headed to? I roughly know where the ship was going to, but that might have changed by now.
I seek the champion of fall.
The champion of fall.
As you're dreaming, you can see, like, they're on a boat. Different boat that you left them on. And you can see, like, there's a captain, people like that, and it zooms out. And then suddenly you're just flying across the ocean, and you see a floating city. You see snake people on this thing. You see them with full arms. You see a giant sail. You see this thing just kind of careening through like these rocks. It's breaking apart. And then it zooms in on one of them, and you see a very tall vicar. And they go, "This one, Yasasius. This is who I seek. With me, we can move the winds. Get them where they're going."
Neat. Champion of... Hey, Champion of Fall? You know, when I touched that, like, that rod that I told you about, I saw this, like, elf, and he asked me if I was his champion or something, and for a moment I thought about saying yes, but I didn't actually give him, like, an affirmative.
As you're saying this, the vision kind of fades, and you're kind of like just in like a gray, smoky chamber, and you just see Hotha. But they're a lot larger, almost like a giant crystal with a green light inside of them that you're just kind of talking to. And they go, "It's up to you who you serve or what you want to do."
Well, I didn't really know anything about them, and they told me to, like, do some reading, but I don't know if we have time for me to, like, get into a library, and with us now having a bounty on us, I'm not sure if it's even safe to go into a town. I don't know.
Definitely sounds like you have a lot to think about. I would be careful of the bounty. Maybe it's time to head to the Fall Court. Become real.
Yeah, well, we gotta take care of that druid wannabe necromancer first. That's the most immediate thing on our plate.
You can see like the
not-
light kind of dims as if Hotha's bored when you say that.
Yeah, well, it has to be done. And I'm not really even sure how to get to the ball court. I mean, I could use the rod, but that'll bring us into that summer place, and I'm kind of iffy about that.
Roll a persuasion check.
Give me a second, let me see what my persuasion is. Oh, that's actually good. 12 plus... ooh, 19.
19?
Yeah, I'm actually good at persuasion.
As you mention the idea of entering, you can see like the light kind of returns far brighter, and Hotha's just like, "You've come across a few ways. There's the rod. There's Fey Pond if you break the runes.
Yeah.
There's others that
I
travel
don't know where that leads.
across. Remember, the city of mud and stone. If you can find a caster, they could take you directly."
I don't think I know of a caster strong enough to do that. Well, technically I do, but Zap has a kind of a crazy paranoia about the Fae. I really don't think he would say yes. In fact, I'm sure he wouldn't. He might even try to kill me if I even mentioned it.
No, he would. He'd just forcibly kidnap you.
Give me the finger gun.
Best of luck, though. I need to get back to focusing.
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to say hi and get you caught up in what was going on.
That you see is like the fog and the smoke kind of like dims down, and you feel like your eyelids are starting to open, as well as like the scraping against like your chest plate until you like focus and you're like, this eye stays closed. We don't open that one.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell her about that. Whoops. Oh well. Too late now.
I like how she's an incredibly powerful artifact and you're treating her like a fucking pen pal.
Hey, it's a buddy.
Alright,
It's a friend that I know, like, probably won't die.
I sent you a message on Discord.
Me?
Yeah, but I don't know what you're
Got
casting.
it.
I think it's just a bunch of questions that
Casting commune.
Alright, in that case, then fucking let's do this. Tell me how you cast this, what you cast, and you know, we got a couple people here. So you get down there, you got your thing ready?
I am going to reach out to Juxta.
Okay.
He is the origin. He's seen time immemorial. I feel like he's a good place to learn, to realize what could be. I want to reach out to him and ask the first question. But I do not want everyone else to know, so feel free to be cryptic.
You got it. But we still have other people watching, so we gotta, you know, bring this up somehow. We'll just have to trust people to not metagame, but unfortunately, you know, you gotta have faith in your
remove
friends.
my headphones.
You know what? I think I can be cryptic. I think I can be cryptic about this. Let me just read this, definitely. Sharp face. Do.
And if need be, I can read them out, but
No, that's
For the
fine.
sake of it.
I don't mind being cryptic. You know, you cast the spell 2 or more times before. Got it. Alright, fantastic. I can do this. I'm a professional. The first one you ask, how do you expect to get these answers? You know, when you think of Juxta and you're asking these questions, what exactly are you, you know, doing, or what would you consider a symbol? Are you hoping to find a voice in your head? Are you flipping a token? What exactly are you doing? How do you expect to be communed with?
Are you gonna roll a die?
If you don't know, I can wing it for you, but I just thought I'd give you a chance to flavor if you want.
I don't think I know off the top of my head. I'm kind of open to whatever signal he can bring.
Okay. As you ask the first question, the sky above you darkens as a cloud passes before the sun. And as you finish the question, it kind of passes over.
The cloud passes over, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
The next one that you ask about. This is a weird one. Does he talk to you? Hold on, I gotta fucking figure this out. Juxta's such a weird god. That's why. Because he is like, his domain is just weird. The next one, as you're thinking this, you just feel... It's a no. There's no other way to say it. It's just in, like... You almost feel dread when you think about asking that question. It is such a strong No. That is just... You
The-
almost
the-
feel queasy.
The emotional equivalent of bitch swerve.
Yeah. You only have 2 questions. Oh, I see. It's the same one. Or can you possibly direct? So it'd be a no to both of those then.
And there is no third question I could think of, so...
No, too bad you didn't share with the group. They might have had one. But they have it.
I'll, as I... Nice long rest, okay. As I walk around, as I kind of get up from my knees,
Hot.
I'll bow my head again. I'll run my hand over the clay disc and I'll crumple it. Not in as a sign of disrespect, but it's like my communion has ended.
Yeah. But you decided to ask Juxta, so fuck
Yeah.
that bitch. This is so enforced. Alright. There's nothing else you guys would like to do. You guys can finish your long rest if you so choose.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright. So eventually you find yourself back with everyone else. Tower still standing. Definitely, you know, it's at the point now where, like, when you guys, like, go in it, like, things are a little creakier. Still in good condition. You know, it looks perfectly fine, but there's just more, like, ambient noise with it. Especially juxtaposed with the fact that the forest is still dead quiet. The wildlife has not returned. You know, as you guys are here, like, the only thing you hear is, like, the sound of, like, a little bit of chatter, the sound of everyone else breathing, the creak of the tower, the wind blowing through the trees. And that's it. Not even, like, the buzz of an insect has returned yet. But if there's nothing else you guys want to do, you can tuck yourselves in. You all will be leveling up, so congratulations to that. And then we can pick this up on the next day. And probably, you know, unless we end up doing a combat, you guys are probably fine, but that's up to you guys as to what you would like to do. We could take a break here if you want to level, or we could keep on going and see where you guys end up.
I wouldn't be opposed to a break. Just kind of talk amongst ourselves, figure out what's happening.
Well, I mean, like a physical break so you guys can level. Or you guys can always talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, but out of character.
We don't metagame
Maybe, like-
here.
Yeah, maybe like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah,
Approximately.
5-minute break to level up.
Sure.
Alright, that works. In that case, I will be right back. And you guys want 5 or 10 minutes?
Make it 10.
Alright, see you guys here in 10 minutes. Alright, hello everybody. We are back. Let me just turn this down. Get to my headphones. Back on. And unmute these cats, and hopefully we have a good launch. Da, da, da. Hello everyone. I'm hoping you guys are good to go. So you guys have taken your long rest. You've gotten a decent night's sleep, except for you, Shalashar. As when you go to take your trance, let me double check this to make sure this works exactly the way I think it does.
Thank you, Kraken.
Ooh, he's a little concerned.
No, he just wants cookies.
He's concerned. He's like, yeah, shh.
Kids don't there aren't enough cookies.
Yeah. It's a very...
Man after my own heart.
I love that dog. I really do.
Glad my dog isn't vocal about asking for treats. She'll just sit there and stare into your soul.
Yep.
Alright, I'll let you level, but you gain 0 other effects from your long night's rest. And as you wake up, there's another mark, and it looks like somebody was death gripping your neck, as well as the thing on your eye. You know, Olaf will point it out, and he's like, was that... Well, I guess you wear a helmet, so actually he wouldn't point this out. You know, you just wake up and you feel like shit. High or low?
Daddy's feeling low today. Thank you, Greg.
The only thing you remember is seeing the night sky and then 2 pitch black orbs that remind you of Nina's eyes. And you just have a dream of those following you throughout your trance, and it's all you can think about. You are officially haunted.
Can... Haunted in the, like...
Haunted in the way that you get 0 effects from a long rest, and your maximum hit points decrease by 6 until the curse is lifted. And this is going to keep happening every night until your soul belongs to Nina.
You should have given back the end.
Let me get on the phone with my girl. I got that bitch on speed dial. For the sake of that, do I still get my spell slots back?
Nope, 0. You get nothing. It was a long rest, and you got 0 from it. Like I said, you wake up and you're like, I should not have slept. This was a terrible mistake. She is the night.
If I sleep during the day, can I argue that?
Nope.
She's a night hag, not a day hag, you prick.
She's a hag.
I have a question for you, Mr. DM.
Yes.
So, leveling up, I have gotten teleportation. So,
Yes.
it says that I learn 2 permanent circles that exist in the world.
Yep. So you would know the one to Sigwolf? Specifically, where the pyres are?
Yeah.
And then I'll let you choose the other if you want.
Is it too late to apologize? It's like, I lose a little bit of health? Okay, that's fine. But spell shots.
Whoops.
Okay,
Should have been nicer.
I probably would know both of them in Sigwolf.
If you want, that's up to you. I can tell you where the other one is. The other one you would know is to Wolfput.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'll let you choose one more in Char if you want.
The town.
It would go to Black Hollow.
Yeah.
That's the town you landed
Black
in.
Hollow. That's what I was gonna say. So, where the pyres are, Black Hollow and Wolfboat.
Yeah. As you
Awesome.
kind of like, manage to piece together another broken page in your spell book and realize, oh yeah, I knew this spell. And it makes sense.
Half asleep me had an epiphany.
Like a beautiful mind moment, it just starts coming back and you're like,
Yep.
So for my feat that I took a shadow touched, and
you
that
don't
is
have that
up.
yet, by the way. You got 0 effects of a long rest. So it's on paper, but you do not have this yet until you deal with
I just thought it was like oddly fitting.
Shadow touch.
Yeah.
I will look into that as well. Did anyone else? You was level 9. You were a multi-class. That's why you got something. But I want to write down that you took this, so I know.
It just gives me access to spells, and then a small stat increase.
Well, that makes sense. I just track it because, for instance, Kisk had Sentinel, I believe, and he forgot and I forgot, so I keep track so I can mention it in case things come up.
Mine are more like passive active effects.
But yeah, you guys all wake up. Shalashar, you also wake up. Like I said, not feeling too good. Nassim, you're definitely over the moon. The Moistenites, they've been sleeping in shifts, as they do. A little weird waking up, because it would have been 8 hours from then. How long do you guys want to sleep for? I guess is the other question. Because 8 hours when you guys went to bed, that would have you awake at like 10 p.m. or midnight, would say.
Oh, I kind of figured we just like relax through the day and into the evening, and
Yeah, that's fine.
I want to wake up at like 5 in the morning.
You don't get a choice here. Shalashar is basically what happens is as soon as it hits midnight is when you're like, Jesus Christ. You have like this existential crisis.
I gotta ask a very important question.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't rest, you get exhaustion.
Yep.
You get so much exhaustion, you die.
Yep.
So you're saying unless I find a miraculous way to contact this bitch or she contacts me, I'm just going to die of exhaustion?
That's the weird things with hags, yes.
Okay. Just wanted to cross my nipples and whatever else.
I will triple check that I am doing this correctly, but I believe that is how this works, yes.
you
Maybe
blew all
we
your
were
spell
doing
slots,
strange
didn't you?
magical ladies.
Yeah.
That's like you guys
I literally, including the detect magic, I spent my last first level spell slot because I was like, oh, it's a long rest. So I literally have one spell that I can cast,
make an arcane check.
which is a per day, per long rest. Arcane, luckily, I'm good with. That is a 22.
22. You'd be aware like there are some spells that can ward against this effect.
Sweet, if I had spell slots.
Yep. There are defenses you can take. There are charms you could find.
Protection against good and evil.
Dealing with the hag directly as well would also be a way of dealing with it as well.
And you're not the only caster.
But the thing is, we didn't have Sanctum up this time because spell slots, so in this case...
Last 24 hours, so it is.
Yeah, but you gotta know this is happening to you one way or another. And we're here now, so...
And it would have gone up in the evening because I put it down in the evening. I just cast the tower earlier because I cast after I got Arcane Recovery back.
Oh, so it would have gone away the evening that we went to sleep anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I did
she
not
came.
have spell slot.
Oh, yeah. So we met her during the day and then it would have gone away.
Like,
And
things-
Sanctuary doesn't defend against this either.
Yeah, it's mostly against like scrying
Scrying.
more
stuff
than
like that.
anything.
Okay.
Yeah, nah, she can still get you.
I didn't even know that was a thing. So
Well, this is a little bit more than that too. You know, that's why I mentioned
okay, so
the mark on your head. If you were to look at it, you can feel it. It is burning brightly. There's something else happening here, and it's also being affected through the mark on your beautiful forehead.
Marked X2.
marks the spot.
I wonder how many buffs you stack. You want to piss off another mage? See? You can get another one?
Is that another one? Okay.
Hat trick! But yeah, so anyways, you guys wake up. What would you like to do and what time? You know, Shalashai, you wake up before everyone else. Everyone else, you guys can continue to sleep through the rest of the day, but you know, that's up to you if you want to do anything about this, Shalashai.
What can I do? I literally don't have the spell slots.
Alright, fair enough.
Literally, I need to see if she approaches me. Like,
Alright, we want to sit on hands, we can sit on hands. Tuck yourselves in.
I wake up super early. I start working out.
Got the 5-pound dumbbell.
No, I'm like doing laps back and forth at one point. I'm doing sit-ups. I'm doing push-ups, but with one arm because I only have one arm.
Strong boy.
Kisk is not in his armor with his big belly hanging out, watching you do the push-ups, just scratching his belly, making some breakfast.
Do any of the other Marines, ex-Marines, join me?
At this point, no. It's not time for them to do that. Instead, what you do see is, you know, some of them are still taking watches. The ones that are up are currently just attending to that and, like, you know, cleaning their armor and preparing their gear. At this point, you realize, like, even though you guys have been, like, walking and fighting, like, they all look pretty pristine at this point, you know?
I sleep in until at least 7.
Attaboy. But eventually, you know, you guys do all wake up at the same time. And Olaf approaches you guys. He's like, so, we leaving today? What happens now?
We gotta kind of decide that before anything.
Well, we can see about Grazquick's getting us back to Millskull, or I can take us to Black Hollow.
I kind of figured we were going to be going after the druid. Just took out what constitutes as his army and go after him. Why not? Push the advantage and all that.
kind of chime in from the side. We aren't ready. I've You just closed the door, you dick. Yeah, she just tried to get out and just slam the door on herself.
Oh, my dog's done that so many times. Locked herself in the bedroom.
You didn't see me initially, but I'm actually off to the side from the group. And, but I'm actually out of my armor. And I'm just kind of sitting off to the side, just...
Olaf is like, what the fuck is that?
I was kind of brooding.
Oh, yeah, he's from Yan.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's a shock at first, but he's actually a decent person?
It's not my first time seeing
Almost a guy, but
a skeleton,
he's
but
not
it's a little awkward to see you talking.
Yeah, sorry.
Kind
I
of
didn't-
you were undead for a second there.
I didn't get much of a sleep last night.
You
I
sleep?
don't know what's wrong. Well, I still have to rest.
And you guys
Don't
will
have
see
to-
like the same thing. So like Shalasha, he doesn't just look like a skeleton. There are, little runes around him that are like carved into the bone that glow. You can see the thing on his eye has before wears like green or emerald or flashes of red here and there. At this point it is like pitch black, as if it was like carved deeper into the bone. And you can also see like the runes around his collarbone have also changed to a black color.
Huh.
Nassim, can I speak to you upstairs?
I suppose.
I mean, I'll just wait here then. I would like an answer as to where we're going so I can prepare the troops.
Absolutely. I just need to figure something out before we decide what the
What?
next plan is.
Also, it is the start of the day. Further knowledge and all that. But
To avoid this conversation.
This one's on me. I'll reach in. I'll pull out 30 gold. And I'll just.
I'll take that as a bonus. Scoop it up.
You guys did well. We appreciated your help.
Go.
You know. I'll walk upstairs and I'll just kind of wait for Nassim.
I think Nissim might have beaten you up there.
Just sprint up the stairs.
As soon as the money was mentioned.
Yeah, then Nassim like left. This was like money, and Nassim's like gone.
I saw where this was going, okay? I didn't need to wait for him to mention it. I was like, well, I guess if you need to talk to me and I'm already going.
That's
I know what's coming next.
Do you have... there's a spell that I have in my repertoire normally. Do you have protection from good and evil?
I'm gonna start flipping through my spell book. It's odd, because as far as you can tell, I'm just flipping through volume 2 of Smoke's Embrace. And if you try to read over my shoulder,
It's just...
that's what it looks like. I'm flipping through and I'm flipping through. Does not seem to be here. Any particular reason why?
I took a gamble, and I seemingly lost. I didn't know hags were so spiteful. I've never really dealt with them. I've heard of them, but I think she cursed me. I don't feel rejuvenated.
Nassim, you
I
can
feel
roll a religion or a history.
Ooh.
Actually,
There's-
it would just be history.
Yeah. I can do
Where-
history. 18.
18. You, having dealt with, hags and stuff in the swamps, you would be aware, like, they are spiteful. You would be aware as well that under these curses, that if he was to die, he would lose his soul to the hag.
Well,
And I know I probably should have listened, but once again, I didn't know of her nature, and I'd rather not be in a I told you so situation.
I wasn't going to. If anything, I was going to say, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you were unaware of their nature. I figured, oh, you're from Yun. That's a hag. I thought you might have had a similar level of familiarity as myself.
Unfortunately not. Otherwise I would have just done it. I just didn't want to risk dropping an ent on her face when we're still weak.
I have a suggestion.
Please.
Step 1, we take our mercenaries back to Millskull. Step 2, we go to the pyres.
Can they help?
If anybody can, I think they would probably be one of our better bets. Hags are more common than I would like to admit back home.
My problem is where the connection to Juxta was is gone. It's like single rays of light peeking through an otherwise overcast and cloudy sky. I don't think I can help in combat. I don't have access to my spells. My connection is just gone. I can't try and reach out to her to contact her. I don't know what to do unless she finds me. And being at a hag's mercy probably does not bode well.
No, it really does not. But at least probably have more answers. At most, it'll be one day there, one day back.
I can offer myself as a shield of sorts, but I won't be able to really rest, heal myself. My wounds will seep.
As you're saying this, you can hear someone calling from down the stairs, and as you guys are downstairs, you see Olaf comes in with Inga, and Inga yells up and goes, "Hey! Oh, you got a hag problem!"
Yes! You're familiar?
I can protect! I am a cleric!
Well, at the very least, I'll get us protection until think of something else for the day.
Told you paid in advance!
You fucking would.
Clap you on the shoulder. So, what do you say?
I'm gonna let you take the lead on this. You know the flame. You have a better understanding of this. I'm gonna do my best to be part of the team, but if push comes to shove, I probably will die here.
Well, I mean, if we go ask the pyres for help, at the worst, you'll die in Sig Wolf.
Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't be the best, wouldn't be the worst way to go.
So,
Alright. I'll follow your lead, Pyre. And, I'll just kind of make my way back downstairs.
Alright. Inga is going to cast protection from evil on you. You can feel like, it almost feels like your head is like put under cold water and the burning kind of subsides.
I just keep on walking past them. Cole!
Yo, that's my name.
Is anyone capable of summoning a Norfend?
Summoning or what?
A Norfend.
Oh,
That's-
yeah, if you need to talk to him, sure. Do we know what we're doing before, or?
We're going back to Millskull.
What about the druid?
We will circle back around. Trust
Oh.
there's a plan.
Okay, alright.
Fire side on this. We need to curb that for now.
How long?
Hopefully not too long. Considering how short of time it took the druid to kind of gather an army, not longer than we have to.
Probably why it would be a better idea to head off.
We do need to find a way to get more information, though. We don't know anything about the druid whereabouts, what it really is.
Yeah, yes. I'm sorry, but I would like to hurry this along. Step 1,
Okay.
summon grass quicks, get back to Milscar, and we'll circle back around to the druid, one problem at a time.
Alright. I'll lean outside and blow on the whistle.
Alright. Grasscrook shows up. Looks like his belly's a little distended, as if he's been gorging himself for quite a while. This is like, even though you can see like a bunch of like his ribs and stuff as if he's emaciated, his belly is very distended at this point.
I like the fact that it's like he just comes out like with a beer belly, just right.
There's like a bone, he's like picking his teeth.
Go in there,
Hey.
like.
And the son wanted to talk to you if you want to come on inside.
Listen.
No, not necessary. I was hoping you would be kind enough to drop us off by Milscar.
I could definitely do that. Are you coming back?
As soon as we figure out what is wrong with our friend and how best.
Well,
Hopefully in a couple of days.
you should know I'm going to need to take the banner someplace. I might be gone for the next while, unless this is imminent.
By all means, do what you must do.
Well, this might be the last time you see me then. And he's gonna walk over to a tree. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Like before we leave, I'll take the few minutes to like put on my armor so I don't just walk into town a fucking skeleton.
I'm helping you with my mage hand from a distance while going through and checking with everybody else.
Oh,
And we're going where we need to go?
Where you had picked us up from before by town Milsk.
Good choice. And he's gonna drag his nail across the wood and you see it like rips open and you guys are able to tumble through rather quickly. And again, you are on the hill just outside of Milscar. You can hear though, like there's a lot more music going on. There's a lot more banners that have gone up. It's almost as if they're starting to prepare for something. You know, it's a lot more festive. Especially coming from like where you guys just came from, where like it was like this dead quiet forest. This is a change. The Marines is kind of, you know, guess we're going off the party then. Do you need us?
Local.
Contract sealed, or should we stick around?
Contract is sealed.
You know where to find us if you need us.
I am going to try to catch John's eye for a second as I hand off a small sheet of paper to Salashar. And it's a list of different chalks, inks, and gemstones. Now I'll need these measurements, and we'll be good to head off.
all right. Reach up and grab the paperwork.
Okay.
I believe you promised, I believe a drink was promised between us.
Yes, it was. Alright, so who's going into the town? Everyone? Alright. As you guys approach...
Wait, Sal, Charge. Should we go into a town? bounty is going to go out on us within what? If it's not already out, within what we have, like maybe a day or two.
Yeah, it's already honestly is probably already on us.
That's what I'd like to assume, just for safety.
Really, the only thing we can do is go back to Black Hollow and prove that they're the rats they're working with, or are part of the rats.
Or force what's his face to
Oh,
get
I
it
just kind
called
of like
off.
claps on the shoulder. He goes, "That case, I don't know ya. See you guys
Yeah,
later."
no.
They're gonna head down the hill.
Wait a bit.
I
Oh,
I was-
all of like, in that case, I don't know you. And
Yeah.
they all walk down the hill into town.
because I would have already been walking away with John if I could have.
He was
I
waiting
thought
for
that way up.
Olaf.
What?
They were all waiting, and now they're leaving. So you can stay in this conversation or follow them as they're like, do we stay in town, do we not?
Well, regardless, I'm going to need those components, and if we are leaving town, I want to get that promised drink.
Yeah, you
Uh,
go get yourself some. We'll figure out something.
The pyre is so hooded. They're like, I know you go to jail, but...
Hey, I am not involved in that. That's between you three.
hey, Butcher.
Yes.
Would you mind picking up these, all of this for Nassim? I can, did tell you. I'm going to reach into my bag of holding, and I'm going to pull out 3,100 gold.
Oh, okay.
This is for your shop.
Kisk will let out a big grin and give you a hug. Just pull you in real tight.
Not too tight. I'm a little fragile today. Didn't sit
Oh,
well.
that's sorry. I'll, like, pat you down.
Go into town. If you don't mind picking up all of this for Nassim, go get something for your butcher shop, your meadery inn. Go get it settled. I'm gonna wait outside of town since people might not exactly like me around here.
Can I bring you gentlemen back anything?
Quick question, Butcher.
Yeah.
I really hate to ask this, but can you read that list?
Well, I'm not too good with the number. Can I make an intelligence check?
Yeah, I mean, go for it.
And I'm not trying to be mean.
No,
I
you're
know
right,
that you
Task.
just started. But I want to be sure.
Ooh, I rolled a 5.
Like, you can look at it, and when you look at it with the helm, you're like, I recognize this language. If someone was to say this out loud in any other language, I would know what it says. But these archaic runes, you know, like, you get the idea, like, they're spell components. I can tell you what they're for, and I can understand that, but I couldn't name them. You have, like, the most disjointed knowledge as to what you're looking at, where you look at it and you understand it, but you can't really read it. So you can be like, I need spells for this. I need something worth this, but you couldn't be like, I need exactly this. You comprehend it, but you don't understand it.
Okay, no,
We'll just give him a direction to the shop.
no, I can solve this. I wanted to keep my magical energies just in case of, like, emergencies, in case we get attacked or something, but I figured out something last night, and I can do this. And I wave my hand, and my shadow comes up and envelops me, and then, like, a wave splashes down to normal, and standing in front of you is a halfling, as I cast Disguise Self.
That's a neat trick.
It was pretty neat. I was playing around with it last night before I went to sleep. I'll do all the reading for you, especially if you're going to be doing anything with your shop, that'll probably involve some reading and make sure. I want to make sure that you don't get ripped off or anything. So you
Much
take care of the
appreciated.
shopping, and I'll show you. I'll show you some of these words on the way too.
Teach me something, yeah.
What I know. I'm not as good as the teachers in the sim, but
He is a good teacher.
oh, Sal, do you want me to? You want us to sell those swords, or try to?
Yeah, honestly, that
Since
would
we're
be,
here?
yeah. Just,
We'll try
you
to
know,
get a
you
decent.
just take my bag of holding.
Okay.
I'll be outside of town here.
All right. Try to stay out of trouble.
Hopefully trouble doesn't find me.
Yeah. Message me if it does. We'll come running.
Alright, so who... Nissim, did you already leave?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. You only get stopped at the gates by someone with Matthias's symbol. They're like wearing quite heavy armor, you know, especially like next to the other guys who are like wearing, you know, quilted doublets, a little bit of chain. This guy's like in pretty much full plate. He has Matthias's thing and he sees you and you see, like, looks at you, he looks at a scroll and it's like he's double checking something. And he puts his hand up to like flag you over.
Come over.
Nissim, correct. I've been informed that you left through this gate. You were accompanied by a couple of other people under the name of Inflict, Heroics, and Matthias's higher contracted. He's requested that I meet you at the gates before anything else, and I bring you all to the manor to discuss certain things that have come to light.
Ah, well. Unfortunately, I have higher business that I must be attending to.
Can we politely decline?
I was not in his employ. I
No,
was merely
you are.
hired
You
next
signed a
to-
contract. And he turns it over to you. Where
hired
are the rest of your companions?
off on seeing to their own business.
Well, I've been informed that you're a wizard with the capabilities of reaching people. I would request that you do that post haste.
Well,
You should understand that we're doing this for the betterment and the good of all involved. It would be easier if we came quietly and could deal with this in an amicable way. Post haste.
I just swallow
And
it back.
Shalashal, with your passive perception, you can see like Nissim is stopped at the gates in front of a very heavily armored figure.
I dig into.
Far away are they?
Probably about 200 feet.
Okay, so it's not close enough to see Matthias.
Yeah, like, it's close, like, probably not with your perception. Even then, you can just see, like, they are stopped and talking to someone. So, goodness, Nissim, go ahead.
Yeah, no. Very well. Perhaps I'll see you guys around. But, guess I have more work to do.
Olaf just gives you a nod and they just keep walking.
I'm gonna give him like the darkest look. I was going to get so late after having fought over 100 gnolls.
Sounds like a great story. I'm sure Matthias would love to hear it.
I'm gonna cast sending. And I'm gonna cast sending to. I'm gonna cast sending to. Fuck, who would I go? I don't think Salashar because they technically wanted
So Kisk it is.
Like, Kisk isn't as associated with.
So who do you
them.
cast it to?
I'm gonna go with Cole because Sally is in shit shape.
Got it.
There's a man here. Wait, I need to count this out because I'm doing
There
contending.
is a man here. You have 5. Yep, 5.
Working Matthias. And apparently talked to us. Fucking cock block.
Is that all you got?
That's all I got.
Alright. Corey, you hear this message.
I'll look up at a kiss. So, looks like we're gonna have to put our shopping trip off. Apparently Matthias wants to talk to us?
That can't be good.
Yeah, just remember, you don't know where I am, you don't know where Salashar is.
Don't know who you guys are.
And I'll reply back to, Ness. Understood. Meet you in front of Matthias' house?
I'm just standing there. And I know they're gonna be coming.
I'm in disguise.
Guy kind of tilts his head. She was like, so, I'm supposed to escort all of you, so we can wait here together if we need to. How many...
We'll see at least one of them in a moment, I'm sure. After that, we'll go. The others will catch up.
Well, you need to understand that 2 of them are wanted. I'm supposed to escort you through the town to make sure no harm comes to you. After this, though, unless things are dealt with, we don't have much say at stopping bounties from being hunted within the city.
I do not believe that Salashar will be willing to re-enter the town, because if he does, well, then the Demi-Lich and his army of gnolls are going to come into town. So he's off sequestered himself, which is the pyre business that you have interrupted.
By I mean no disrespect. I'm simply following orders and trying to deal with this in the most straightforward way I can after finding out that we've employed 2 would-be assassins.
I would like him to paraphrase. It's like, I'll do respect, Pyre. Shove it up your ass.
Basically. So if you could produce these 2, we said you're relatively new, and he points at the data on the contract, you're barely involved. You just happen to be the closest contact we have. I, honestly, couldn't give 2 shits if you came with us. But the others, the wanted ones, are the ones I need to talk with, and the ones I'm supposed to escort.
Well, unfortunately for you, my magic is a little less producing people out of thin air and a little more, and I I'm waving this flaming hand around as I'm doing this, a little more, well, a little more this.
Parlor tricks.
Fire.
So is anyone else showing up at this point, or what are you guys doing? As you can see, like, also, what's your passive perception, Nissim?
12.
12? You can see he, like, shifted his weight a little bit just by, like, the clanking of his armor.
Kisk will show up eventually.
Yeah.
Alright.
Like, I'm not hiding. I'm literally just kind of like standing 200 feet away, just hanging out.
Yeah, but he's a little focused on the wizard in front of him that he's threatening. He's not like, yeah, I'll fuck you up. But what's that? You know, like, he's focused. He's not taking
He's
his
like,
eyes away.
this is a wizard.
Yeah.
Fuck the wizard.
Kisk? See another one? Do you know where your 2 companions are? I'm supposed to be bringing them to Matthias.
2 companions. Oh, the ones we were traveling with this whole time?
Yes. The wanted
right over
assassins.
I mean, kinda, last I heard they were somewhere way off in the woods, some about some gnolls.
unfortunately, Milscar is barred to you two until they are produced.
Sir, are you talking about like a tall guy and a little kobold?
Oh yeah, they did.
He looks down at you, looks up. Do you know him?
I just met him.
I passed a couple of guys on the way and they asked me to be a messenger to go talk to Matthias?
Fantastic. I have no idea who you are. But if you could message them back and tell them to please produce themselves, I would appreciate it.
I don't have that capability. They said they were going off into the woods, mumbling something about like a Lich.
Well, then maybe you should deal with your Lich and then come back.
I'm going to cast Sending to Matthias.
Okay.
Please help.
Oh, thank God.
Respectfully. Just leave it. Respectfully, your man
Kind of being a bit of a cocksucker.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to like.
This is the message, by the way. Respectfully.
Go
Respectfully,
inside.
yo, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No.
No. Fuck. You got 10 words left. Make them count.
This is not the message, okay? That was
Not the
okay.
message,
You
okay.
both know it.
This is not the message. Cuts off.
That's the end. Yeah, you get a message back. What the fuck was that? Okay. Alright, last attempt. Make it count.
This whole.
Your man is impeding higher business. This was not our arrangement. Did you want the Lich dealt with or not?
Okay.
All due respect.
He replies,
He doesn't know shit about the Lich. He doesn't give a fuck.
all respect. That's the captain of Aramoni's guard. He speaks for all of Char. It's out of my hands. Please, but produce your people now. I'm under a lot of problems. The election's in a couple of days. He's going to kill you. At this point, like, now that you see this, you, like, look at him, you see he has, like, Matthias' thing on him. But then on the other pauldron is another thing you don't recognize, and you just kind of wrote it off as symbols. Make an Arcana check as well.
I got Arcana for days.
Or religion. It could be religion too.
Oh no, I want to do Arcana. I've
Okay.
got +9 to Arcana. 27.
27. You look over this guy, and you realize, like, his armor... This guy is an elf. He's hiding it relatively well. He has his hair in front of his ears. He seems like he's always trying very hard to pass as a human, but now that you're looking at his armor, you're like, this was growing. He is wearing probably the nicest thing of, like, plate armor you've ever seen. And you're looking at the runes and you're like, that's an adjuration spell? That's an illusion spell? That's an evocation spell on his sword? And, like, you're just, like, looking over his armor and you're like, this dude might not be a caster, but he is extremely well financed by, like, an entire city.
And I'm gonna mark
Muted.
80 feet towards Salashar, and I'm gonna point at him, and I'm gonna tell him, and and I'm going to scream it so that it is both in your head and shout it at you from across 120 feet. Get down here now! I'm not getting killed for you.
She didn't even tell me shit. I was like just watching you talk at the gate. I'm like, oh, looks like a nice dude. Looks like a gentle fellow.
He just like looks at you and is like, well, that wasn't so hard, was it? We are going to end today's session here, as this was just like, get over here! And I guess we will pick up to you guys entering the town of Milscow once again to see what exactly is going on here.
Such a prideful pyre. He's like, "Ruh-roh."
But thank you guys for playing, hope you had fun, and I will see you guys next week. Till then, hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.
I am in danger.
Everyone's in danger.
I thought